This year's federal budget has a very complex and multifaceted fiscal strategy. Cash splash!
Hello, I'm Paul Barry. Welcome to Media Watch. And yes, almost everyone was a winner in Tuesday's budget, with tax cuts, spending increases and handouts galore. But not the ABC, which had its budget slashed by $84 million, or nigh on 3%. That follows a $254 million cut in late 2014, which came despite this solemn pre-election promise.
No cuts to the ABC or SBS.
So why break that promise yet again? Well, certainly not for revenue reasons. The Australian's columnist Julia Sloan told viewers of The Drum,
"Oh, I guess there's a bit of payback there, you know, that probably..."
Payback for what?
Oh, I think payback for certain things that have happened, but...
Which things are you referring to?
Well, I think there are certain, probably, hesitancies among certain government members about some aspects of some of the programming.
And payback is also how former ABC Managing Director David Hill saw it, telling Media Watch,
"It's purely political, a sop to the right wing of the coalition."
Meanwhile, on Twitter, Crikey's political editor Bernard Keane, a former Department of Communications bureaucrat, was, quote,
"Impressed by the sheer vindictiveness of the government's $84 million cut to the ABC in a budget that's splashing money around like water."
But it's not just vindictive, or the government playing to its base. It's also a useful nod to Senator Pauline Hanson, who's long demanded ABC funding be cut in return for supporting legislation through the Senate. Yet, in the ABC's first interviews with the Treasurer and Prime Minister on 7:30, RN Breakfast and AM, the question of why the ABC was targeted went begging. Until finally, Michael Rowland on News Breakfast asked Finance Minister Matthias Cormann and was told,
"Nearly all other government-funded, taxpayer-funded organisations have to find productivity improvements and operational efficiencies. We believe that the ABC, out of more than $3.2 billion worth of funding, is able to find $84 million worth of efficiencies."
But after a recent round of cost-cutting, the ABC's head of news, Gavin Morris, begs to disagree and told the Melbourne Press Club bluntly,
"Make no mistake, there is no more fat to cut at the ABC. Any more cuts to the ABC cut into the muscle of the organisation."
Managing Director Michelle Guthrie echoed that warning, promised to oppose the cuts and signalled the danger of a public backlash.
"In the coming year, Australians will head to the polls for the next federal election. More than 80% of Australians value the ABC, a point that should not be lost on anyone seeking government."
And a poll out today from the Australia Institute shows a majority of the public do oppose the cuts. But there's no sympathy at all from Auntie's critics, with the Daily Telegraph publishing a blast from Senator Eric Abetz that the ABC is, quote,
"highly privileged and its entitlement mentality is starting to wear thin."
And in response to Guthrie's suggestion that the Australian public would vote against the cuts, Abetz added,
"The intemperate threats from the ABC highlights the partisan nature of the ABC and the attitude it will take to the budget and the next election, which is hardly that of an independent, taxpayer-funded national broadcaster."
These are critical times for the ABC. It's about to begin talks with the government over its next 3-year funding deal, and it also faces 2 new inquiries into whether costs can be further cut and whether the ABC competes unfairly with commercial media. So, the significance of the $84 million cut is not so much the size as the government's political intent. And that's what has the ABC so worried. Today in The Australian, Kerry O'Brien claimed the government had declared war on the ABC and urged supporters to fight. And yesterday, the New Daily reported that the ABC is planning a public campaign. 31 years ago, David Hill famously mobilised the public against ABC funding cuts and forced the Hawke and Keating government to back down. But Hill reckons it would not be so easy to repeat the trick today.
I don't think there's the same level of sentiment towards the ABC today. Partly it's because there's so much more choice. But the ABC is also its own worst enemy. It hasn't put enough into Australian production, like quality Australian drama. It has $1 billion of taxpayers' money, and I think some people feel that's enough.
So what will the government do with the $84 million it's clawing back? Well, the bulk will go to a memorial celebrating Captain Cook's landing in Botany Bay, which had former Disability Commissioner Graham Innes joking on The Drum.
You take $84 million out of the ABC budget and you're prepared to spend $50 million charting the journey of Captain Cook, who clearly, one of his comments when he first landed in Australia was, "Oh, public broadcasting's overrated."
But now to Cambodia, where freedom of the press has suffered another blow ahead of national elections in July.
Staff exodus begins at Phnom Penh Post after attack on Free Press.
Last weekend, the Phnom Penh Post was sold by its Australian owner Bill Clough to a Malaysian businessman whose public relations firm lists Cambodian leader Hun Sen as a former client. When the Post duly reported on its new owner and his links with Hun Sen, the editor was told to remove the story. He didn't, and was then sacked in front of the paper's CEO, Marcus Holmes, who told ABC Radio,
he was fired for what the new owners called an error of judgment, a grave mistake, in publishing the story that we published. And it put me in such a difficult position. I just felt I could not work with the new management team at the Post.
Holmes himself then quit, and all the paper's foreign news reporters followed. As one who resigned, Australian Erin Handley, reported on Twitter.
A total of 14 people have departed the Phnom Penh Post in the past 2 days. Our CEO, our editor-in-chief, 4 editors, 8 reporters.
And that has people worried. Media academic Dr Ross Tapsell has expressed concerns about the sale, saying it
shows a trend in Southeast Asia where ruling governments pressure independent media organisations to be sold to a friend of the regime or force them to be closed down completely.
Meanwhile, Human Rights Watch has called the deal a disaster for media freedom and claimed
the only plausible rationale for this acquisition is to blunt the Post's critical coverage of the government.
Cambodia ranks 142nd out of 180 nations on the World Press Freedom Index, compiled by Reporters Without Borders, after recently dropping 10 places. And, as Erin Handley told Media Watch, the turmoil at the Post caps a turbulent period for the local media.
It's been a hellish time. We've had more than 30 radio frequencies shut down. We've seen journalists jailed on trumped-up espionage charges, including an Australian, James Ricketson.
James Ricketson, a documentary maker, has been in jail for 11 months. The 69-year-old, who was taken to the prison hospital last week suffering from chest pains, has not been told who he was supposedly spying for. But his crime was to fly a drone at the political rally of an opposition party since banned by Hun Sen. Petitions to release him have so far had no effect, and he has no idea when his trial will be. His son Jesse told Media Watch,
he's been questioned about emails of his, and that's about it. The longer it draws out, the more scared we are that he's going to have a serious health issue. He's an innocent man. He's not guilty of any crime, and we're just hoping that this misunderstanding will be resolved quickly.
Almost 75,000 people have signed that petition. If you want to add your name, go to this page at change.org. But now to the sidebar of shame, or to be precise, how stars and the paparazzi work hand in hand. Here's Hollywood megastar Hugh Jackman on how he manages the mob.
I have a thing with the paparazzi. It's weird. Down in Australia, they'll come to me and they all know me at this point. And I'll say to them, OK, what do you need, guys? And one of the main guys there, Shane, goes, well, we need you at the Bondi, shirt off. I said, all right, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. And so they all turn up. It's embarrassing. There's like 30 of them, and they leave me alone.
They leave you alone the rest of the time?
The rest of the time.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I figured, no, that's a deal. I'll take it.
Sounds almost too good to be true. But a few rungs down the ladder, a different game is played. Because C-list celebs are just as desperate to get the paparazzi's attention, with ludicrous stories like these in the Daily Mail.
Wife swap. Married at First Sight stars Troy and Carly spotted engaging in steamy kissing session, despite being married to other people on the show.
What would Gabrielle say? Married at First Sight's NASA Sultan laps up the attention from bikini-clad fans as the reality star is spotted in the midst of a heated phone discussion.
The women's mags and tabloids just love gotchas like that. But while it may look like those naughty celebs were caught in the act, Pap Jaden Seafarth told Media Watch that's not how it happens.
Most of my work is set up. Most of the time you can organise something, which is better to create some storyline.
So how does it work? Well, according to Seafarth, that second Mail story of NASA cozying up to bikini-clad fans was entirely pre-planned.
I shot NASA going to Bondi. He went without the wedding ring for me and found 2 random girls to kiss.
And why would he do that? To boost his profile and earn some cash. Individual photos sell for $100 or more, while sets like that can fetch between $200 and $500, which is good news for NASA, because Seafarth claims in this case
NASA wanted a 50-50 split.
So, a couple of $100 for leaving your wedding ring at home and kissing girls on the beach. No wonder NASA seems excited in this leaked exchange.
Let's do it while I'm the biggest.
Good idea.
Fuck yes. Yes, let's do it. I have the perfect story. We need to meet. This will make headlines about why I left.
The reality TV star protested to Media Watch that exchange is fake and his account was hacked. But other clients of Seafarth have admitted stage managing their photos. Married at First Sight's Cheryl Maitland, for example, fessed up after being outed by Seafarth in this text exchange.
Hey, I'll be in Melbourne this weekend.
I can organise someone down there if you like.
Would it be good for airport shots of me arriving, as my partner will be there? Or dinner?
Yes, it's a cutthroat world, as 21-year-old Seafarth also knows, after getting a shovel through his windscreen when a stakeout at cricket star David Warner's half-built house went sour. Seafarth subsequently accused the Warners of using another pap called Kirk Powell to stage some of their glitzy shots, like this one of the couple taking a McLaren 570S out for a spin, and this one of the couple embracing Titanic style on David's 31st birthday. Powell denied to Media Watch that he or the Warners stage photos, but he did confess that some of his pap shots involve the cooperation of the star.
I go up to them and go, "Some pictures aren't flattering. Can we go again?" It's better to build a rapport. I've done it with Elle Macpherson. She gave me a nice walk into the water and a nice smile.
So, what other dodgy shots are out there? Well, moving from the A-list back down the celebrity alphabet, how about this set in the ever-reliable Daily Mail?
Is everything okay? Bachelor in Paradise couple Jake Ellis and Megan Marks appear to have heated exchange in Gold Coast Park.
Appear, indeed. Notice how close the camera must have been to the, quote, argument, given the incredible depth of field, and also note the acting skills. When we asked photo agency Matrix which photographer had taken the shots, CEO Ben McDonald told us
those photos were supplied to us.
But he wouldn't say by whom. Clearly, wannabe stars looking to extend their 15 minutes of fame might not even need paps in the future. And just to prove the point, here's another celeb caught in the act.
Meghan Markle's father has been busted, reportedly staging paparazzi shots in the lead up to the royal wedding.
This video apparently shows Thomas Markle Sr. doing the deal with a known British paparazzo, earning Thomas Markle around $180,000.
And here they are, Thomas Markle in an internet cafe reading about the wedding, getting fitted for a suit, and this hilarious one of him reading a book about Britain. Which brings us to the only story this week that really matters to the media.
17,000 kilometres away, across the other side of the world, something big is about to happen.
Oh, it's big, all right, at least in terms of the media's attention.
You're cordially invited to the wedding of the year.
Live from Windsor Castle.
And hey, don't sell it short. This is much bigger than just the wedding of 2018.
Our special coverage of the wedding of the century.
Catch all the royal wedding action here on 9.
Now that's more like it. And with all Australian networks in London, along with 8,000 journalists from around the world, get ready for more of this.
Eddie is hanging out with who else but the royal family this morning. Eddie, are they nervous? It is now wedding week officially.
Well, I think they're more nervous about being hit by a branch at the moment, Koshi, but they certainly are anticipating an incredible week ahead.
And there's still 5 days to go. And there's more about tonight's stories on our Facebook page or our website, where you can get a transcript and download the programme. You can also catch up with us on iView and contact me or Media Watch on Twitter. And don't forget, Media Bites every Thursday. But for now, until next week, that's it from us. Goodbye.